with the league office in New York to find a way to complete this 4-team deal, but also keep some recourse with how they feel that medical information was not shared with them by the Portland Trail Blazers prior to agreeing on a deal that brings them back Gary Payton II, sends out James Weissman to Detroit. And essentially, what Golden State doesn't want to do is simply pass or fail Payton on the physical and lose, either have this trade go away, which is what would happen if they fail him. But they're trying to work with the league and have them probe what happened and see if there's recourse in the future, which could mean a potential draft compensation to Golden State if the league finds that Portland was in the wrong here. Also, listen, they've got a 9:30 p.m. deadline to get this done, but I think there's some optimism that there is a pathway here for Golden State, Atlanta, Detroit, and Portland to finalize this deal. Sadiq Bey to Atlanta. James Weissman, again, the former #2 pick, goes to Detroit.
Okay, so still a path here. Let's talk about the buyout market, Woj. What is the latest on that front?
Yeah, Malika just told Raymond Brothers, the agent for Danny Green, he's nearing a deal with the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's agreed to a buyout in Houston, and so Danny Green goes back to where he started early in his career. They're finalizing a deal. J.B. Bickerstaff, Kobe Altman, Cavaliers leadership sold Danny Green on the kind of role and the kind of impact he can make on that young team. And Terrence Ross, late last night, committed to the Phoenix Suns. Conversation with Monty Williams, Matt Ishbia, their new owner. And that was a player that earlier in the day may have been headed to the Dallas Mavericks. You know, a real arms race in the West right now. There are not a lot of wing players available in this buyout market. But Terrence Ross, he goes to the Suns. And now Danny Green, he is finalizing a deal with the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Terrence Ross adding some great depth for the Suns, and what an excellent fit. A nice veteran in Danny Green headed potentially to the Cavaliers. Woj, thank you so much for your
play-in tournament. Warriors, meanwhile, trying to get a top 6 seed, have just a 34% chance to get one of those 6 spots. And they tried to upgrade their roster this week with a trade, a significant one that would have brought Gary Payton Jr. back. But now, as you have probably heard, that trade is being held up by injury concerns. We need the very latest, and for that, we always bring in our NBA senior insider extraordinaire, Adrian Wojnarowski, with the latest. Woj, what is the latest on Payton?
Greeny, the Golden State Warriors, I'm told, have a 9:30 p.m. Sunday deadline to decide the fate of that 4-team trade that brought them back Gary Payton II and sent out the former #2 overall pick, James Weissman, to Detroit. Golden State gave Payton II a physical. They determined that the abdominal injury that kept him out 35 games this season remained, that he was a player who may not be able to play for them until late in the season. And I'm told that the Warriors informed the league office that Portland had not given them all the relevant medical information about Payton at the time of the trade, which is under league guidelines you have to do. And so Golden State now has to decide whether they're going to pass Payton on this physical or blow up this 4-team deal. Listen, they brought Gary Payton II back to shore up their perimeter defense. It's been a significant shortcoming for the Warriors this season. Now, there's some reasons they might still go through and approve this trade, even though they may not get Payton II. It'll save him $35 million in luxury tax this season, and he's under contract another 2 years. But if this deal goes away, if Golden State decides to fail Payton on his physical, you know, they'll get out in the buyout market. Perhaps a guard like Patrick Beverley, it might be on their radar, but we expect probably sometime tomorrow Golden State makes a decision on this 4-team trade.
All right, we will obviously get that news from Woj tomorrow. Woj, thank you very much. And because they've now passed the trade deadline, they can't just remake the terms of it either. So everything there hangs in the balance. Let's talk about the Warriors. It's been a night to talk about the teams in the West. Are they ready to defend their championship?
At this particular moment in time, we can't say that because Steph Curry's not on the court. And when he gets back on the court, we got to make sure that he's healthy. I personally believe they'll go through with this trade. Gary Payton II is something Draymond Green and numerous other players really lamented his departure. They did not want him gone. So the fact that you get to get him back with another 2 years left on his deal, saving you $35 million in cap space, that's a good business decision on their part as well. The Warriors cannot be counted out if a healthy Steph Curry is on the court with Klay Thompson playing the way that he's been playing. But that's what you will need to be relevant in the Western Conference playoff picture this year.
They need him, period. And his energy, his personality, the way he functioned with that team coming up the bench, they need Gary Payton II. Also, as Stephen A. says, Klay Thompson starting to look gradually. I've been more patient than Stephen A. with Klay working his way back in. And also Kuminga. Since he's come back January 20th,
playing well.
We're starting to see the player that they projected him to be. They're going to need all three of those elements, plus, of course, starting with Steph Curry.
And come on, Portland Trail Blazers. Why y'all acting unethical? Like, y'all got to disclose the information. And allegedly, they were encouraging him to play after he got Toradol shots, knowing that they were going to trade him anyway.
Wow.
And it's also a lesson for players, never give a team a discount. Because he left to go get his money. Now the Warriors want him back, and he got hurt with the team that paid him. They're going to let this trade go through.
Are they good enough to get back to the NBA Finals this year in this jam-packed, wild Western
I say
Conference?
no, it's somebody else's turn. I think it's going to be the Phoenix Suns and or the Denver Nuggets.
I want to applaud Jalen for bringing up because we all got to sit up here and support Jalen Rose on this one. Portland Trailblazers had no business doing what they were doing. And to be encouraging them to take shots, if that's true, the fact of the matter is that's inexcusable, highly unethical, and the league does need to investigate that. But with all of that being said, Klay Thompson and Steph Curry cannot be dismissed. Remember, I said that, and I did not give up on Klay. What I said was, Klay, what's up? What you doing? We know what you can do.
Impatient.
I said, let's go. And you know what? And that's when he started balling. I can't be all night. I can't be as angelic as Mike Wilbon. Damn it, sometimes you gotta give him some tough love. That's what I was giving Klay, some tough love. But it's always love for Klay Thompson.
And I know what? When you get drafted as high as Wiseman and they trade you on your rookie deal,
very bad.
It's going to be awkward for him to go back into that locker room. I think they're going to allow this trade to go through.
Yes.
Klay Thompson has been...
Gary Payton II from Portland back to the Warriors is on hold because of an abdominal injury. Payton had surgery to treat it and had been taking pain-killing injections to play, something Golden State didn't know before the trade. They believe Payton could need up to 3 months to fully recover. The Warriors have until today to complete the trade or just drop the whole thing. NBA
To it, Gary Payton II. Now,